in the context of what she asked me, but go ahead.
In thy kingdom. But Yahawashi answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup?
Are you what?
Are ye
able?
In verse 30.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, and verse 37. And it reads, mark the perfect man.
The word say?
Mark the perfect man.
The word said, mark the perfect man. And do what?
And behold the upright. For the end of that man is
He
peace.
said, for the end of that man is peace. And what better man to mark than the Lord, man? What person to take after than Yahawashi, man? That real people.
Psalm 69, you can start at verse.
Psalms chapter 69 and verse 30. I will praise the name of Yahweh with a song, and will magnify him with thanksgiving.
You read it? Now, why did David say praising the Lord would satisfy better bulls and oxen? Because back at this time period, they were so caught up in the carnal law of sacrifice, they thought that was everything. This is why Paul had to come on the scene and better explain it. And you actually see that. Let's get that in 1 Samuel chapter 15. You actually see an example of this in 1 Samuel chapter 15. I want you to start at verse. Or is it 2 Samuel? Yeah. 1 Samuel, you can start at verse 20. Or start at verse 19.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord?
Now, brothers don't understand this account. This is when Saul went off. Instead of destroying everything in the land of Amalek, he actually kept the best of the cattle. And actually saved Agag. Like you read it?
But didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord.
So Samuel, like, why did you do that? Why did you fly upon the spoil? Disobey the Lord. So let's see Saul's response.
And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord.
He said, I did obey Yahweh. Keep reading.
And have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
Keep reading.
But the people took of the spoil.
Now hold on. He said the people. When you actually read it, he was a part of the people. It actually says that in verse 9, but Saul and the people. He tried to point the finger. Say, well, I did X, Y, Z, but the people, they kind of got the spoils. Keep reading.
Sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal.
Why did Saul say the Lord your God to Samuel? Isn't that his God too? That's how you know he was feeling ashamed and separated from the Lord at this point. Why would he say the Lord your God to another Israelite? Because he was already separated from the Lord in his mind. He's trying to justify his madness. You read it?
And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
And that's pretty much all he was getting at, because the law, that carnal law, is just that stepping master. It's just that schoolmaster, that tutor to teach you the ways of the Lord, to bring you closer to the Most High. So they had to do that physical act to represent Yahawashi. But he didn't understand that. So he said, well, hold on, I gave you the best of the cattle. I did obey the Lord. So go back to Psalm chapter 69, and verse number, you can read 31 again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 31.
Bring it out.
This also shall please the Lord better than an ox or bullock that hath horns and hooves. The humble shall see this and be glad, and your heart shall live that seek good.
Seek the Most High, it says. But the humble shall see this and be glad, because your mind is going to live that, it says your heart shall live that seek the Most High. Because, again, the fact that they understand that to give up all these oxen anyway. So it's never been about that at the end of the day. You read it?
For the Lord heareth the poor.
That's why I said he hears the poor. You read it?
And despiseth not his prisoners.
You said what?
Despiseth
not his prisoners.
His prisoners. That word prisoner is going to a bondman or a captive, going back and driving a yoke upon us. So we're literally prisoners to the Most High. We're captive to the Most High. We're bound under him to do his law. Get Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord.
What did Paul say?
I
therefore,
the prisoner of the Lord.
So Paul called himself a prisoner of the Lord. So he understood he was bound to Yahawashi. He was captive to Yahawashi. And that's because he gave his life for us. So we owe our lives to him. Now, you can drop that in Galatians chapter 2. I want verse 15.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 15. We who are Jews by nature.
That's going into the circumcision. You reading?
And not sinners of the Gentiles, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law.
This is what Christians or people on the outside looking in get confused with the Hebrew Israelites. They think we say we justified by the law. But that couldn't be, or we all be stoned. So we never said we justified by the works of the law. You reading?
But by the faith of Yahawashi HaMashiach, even we have believed in Yahawashi HaMashiach, that we might be justified by the faith of HaMashiach.
And that's what he said. We believe that we justified. Although we Jews by nature, we was raised in the law, circumcised the 8th day, we understand we're not justified by the works, but by the faith. You reading?
And not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified.
You reading?
But if, while we seek to be justified by Christ.
So we understand we're not justified by the works of the law. But if we seek to be justified by Christ, read.
We ourselves also are found sinners.
When we found sinners, you read.
Is therefore HaMashiach the minister of sin.
So if you're saying that Christ died just so you can go to the law, you're basically saying he a minister of sin. He died so you can sin. And that's what he's asking. So, I mean, is Christ a minister of sin? You read it?
God forbid.
He said, of course not. So he's saying, no, we all understand that the flesh isn't justified by the works of the law. But although we understand that and we want to be justified through Christ, we can't just be found sinners still. Because now we say Christ died just so we can sin, which isn't true. Can you read it?
For if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor.
Exactly. You're supposed to destroy that old man. So I will build upon that old man again. That's what he's saying. But to further break it down, you read it?
For I, through the law, am dead to the law.
We dead to the law. You read it?
That I might live unto Yahweh.
You read it?
I am crucified with HaMashiach.
What do you say?
I am crucified with HaMashiach.
He died for you. He was that awesome sacrifice, that propitiation, that mercy seat, that had the blood sprinkled on it. You read it?
Nevertheless, I live.
Though I'm crucified, I'm still alive. That's because we killed this old man, the spirit. You read it?
Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me.
So it's not I that live, it's really Christ that's living in me, that's living through me. I'm giving myself to Christ because he died for me. And I killed my old man so I can live, and Christ can live through me. You read it?
And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Yahweh, who loved me and gave himself for me.
So he loved me, gave himself for me. So I can have his grace, I can have his chance to be dead and born again. That's why Christ rise from the dead is a spiritual representation of us that rise from the dead. Killing our old man and now we alive again. We all got resurrected. We literally killed our old man and now we revived as a new man. You read it?
I do not frustrate the grace of Yahawashi.
You read it?
For if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain.
That's right. So righteousness came by the law, and Christ died for no purpose. Because he died to free us from the yoke of the law. Now we under his yoke. Now we bound to Christ. So we literally captives to Christ because he bought us for that price. With that idea.
That's right. Very mighty point brought out by the brother. And a lot of people don't know what it means to serve Yahawashi. A lot of people, they make certain decisions without reading the fine print. Let me go to the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 22. You have to understand what it means to serve Yahawashi and what it means to serve Satan.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. Verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
The Lord said,
You cannot serve God and mammon.
the Lord only gives you two options. You either going to serve Satan or you're going to serve me. You serve Satan, you're going to hate me. You serve me, you're going to hate evil. There's only two ways about this. And a lot of people, they don't understand, they don't count the cost, they don't sit down and understand the decisions that they make. They don't understand what it really means to serve the Lord and serve Satan. Go to Matthew 16 and start at verse 23. Because the Lord kind of breaks it down, what it means to kind of serve. You have to have strict discipline. You have to do things you don't want to progress. Right? You got to have honor, respect, integrity. Here's what you got.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of Yahweh, but those that be of men.
And there we go. That's what it means to serve Satan, huh? It's to do the will of man. A lot of people think they love God, but they really love doing what they want to do. And that's serving man. That's not serving Yahawashi. When you're a prisoner, you don't get to do what you want to do. They tell you, when you're a prisoner, you got to get up at 5 a.m. They tell you, get up at 5 a.m. The lights coming on. Right? And you got to get out there. They tell you to get some food. You got to get some food. That's what it means to be a prisoner. You don't do your own will. But Satan allows you to do his thy will. Right? And they don't understand that. So when people try to convince them, I'm going to serve Yahawashi, it's not Christianity. You don't do what you want to do. Go to the book of Luke chapter 14. Start at verse number 28.
23.
Right? You see the praise, you see the mighty gatherings, you see brothers out there on the highways and byways strong, and that's what you see, but you don't really know what this is about. What you got?
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
Right. When you about to build something, you don't sit down and count the cost, kind of go into the finances, the analysis, how long it's going to take to build, what are some of the things, the potholes you may run into, do we have enough? You don't sit down and count the cost. Aren't we building a building right now? Are we building a third temple now? Right?
Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him.
Begin to do what?
Begin to mock
Come
him.
on, mock you, man. You wasn't building that thing, man. I already knew. Right? You wasn't really going to build. I know you. Right? You never get anything done. Right? You know?
Saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulted whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000?
Yeah, war's not an emotion. You can't just go to war because somebody says something about your mom. And now you send a million of your soldiers and they all die, man. Right? That's a business decision. All right, do we have enough? You know, you read Judith, the 5th chapter, man, where King Nebuchadnezzar asked all these questions about Israel, man, before he went to war, right? And that's the same thing in his truth. You have to know what it means to serve the Lord. So go back to that Matthew chapter 16 and read verse number 10.
The book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter.
16:24.
The book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 24. Then said Yahawashi unto the disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
It will say,
Let him deny himself.
right?
And take up his cross and follow me.
You know?
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
And if you physically lose your life for the Lord, hey, guess what? You're going to find an everlasting life in the kingdom. But you have to lose your life even while you're living right now. I mean, you can't do the things that you want to do. Your life is owed to Yahawashi. Romans the 8th chapter. You're in debt to the Lord. And guess what? That debt you want to spend your whole life paying off, man. Unless you really want to die. So that's what it means to serve the Lord. Is you have to deny yourself, take up that burden. You got to follow him all the days of your life. It ain't gonna be easy. It's not peaches and cream, man. Go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and start at verse 9. Let's see what it means to serve the Lord. Look at some of the accounts our forefathers went through.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 9. For I think that Yahweh hath set forth us, the apostles last, as it were approved to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
You're an outsider. You're a stranger. Didn't our forefathers confess that they were strangers and pilgrims on earth? And people just looking at you weird. You got the fringes on, they looking at you. What is that? Yelling on the street with the Bible. You think you know the Bible. Right? You don't fit any of Esau's religion. You just different. They just look at you different. Right?
We are fools for Christ's sake.
What the Lord say?
We are fools for Christ's sake.
So are you going to come into this thing? Are you an Israelite? Are you ready to be a fool for Christ? Whoa, he takes 3 steps back. Whoa, he put his hands up. Whoa, what do you mean by that? Right? You got to rethink this thing. Read on.
But ye are wise in Christ.
Right?
We are weak.
Right?
But ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
But what?
But
We are despised.
You're fitted in this world, man. You're despised. I love my brothers. I'm glad we get to congregate and be together, man. Because if it wasn't for this, we'd be alone. We're not messing with these people in the world. We're not doing what they do. We despise, man. As soon as the Bible starts, start coming up, people slowly start drifting up, walking away. Right? We are despised, you know.
even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place.
Certain people, but people get kicked out with this truth. I've been kicked out before for the scriptures, man. On the Sabbath day, right? Because just reading that Bible just irritates me. Man, get your stuff, get out. You have no certain dwelling place, man. Call them brothers, you know what I'm saying? This is what the apostles went through. Traveling, you know?
And labor, working with our own hands,
Right?
being reviled,
Being what?
being reviled,
Right?
we bless, being persecuted, we suffer,
What?
we suffer,
You know?
being defamed, we entreat,
Right?
we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscoring of all things unto this day.
To this what?
Unto this day.
This very day, we're made the offspring of all things, being defamed, entreated. This is what it means to serve Yahawashi. This is the walk that we got to serve to get everlasting life, to receive the promises that are far off. Read on.
I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you.
I warn you. And that's what the Apostle Paul said through the Spirit. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 16. You ain't got to be by yourself in this thing at certain points in time. Right? You're not always going to have people around you. Right? You want to work for the Lord. Do what you got to do.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse
16.
verse 16. At my first answer, no man stood with me, but all men forsook me. I pray Yahweh that it may not be laid to their charge.
All men forsook Paul, man. What do you think happened when Yahawashi got delivered up? You know, the disciples right next to him. It was him by himself, man. And they interrogated him. You know, you got people, you know, they smoked him in his face, spit in his face. All men forsook me. And you may feel at a certain point in this truth was like, damn, you know, you're going through it, having wars in your head by yourself, trying to find peace, and you know, it's a lot, man. Right? And the Lord prayed many times by himself, man, to the Most High. Go to the book of 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 10. Let's see what happened to Elijah. Start at verse number 9.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, and verse 9. And he came thither unto a cave, and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. And he said unto him, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord God of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenants, thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
And guess what, man? He said, I am only left, and they trying to kill me, man. And guess what you got to do? You still got to hold it down for the Lord, man. You got to seek the Lord until death. And that's what Elijah did. Some people, they want to try to take away your life. You got people that bring guns, knives, things to camp, and, you know, death threats and all types of things. This is what it means to serve Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Right? Let me get this last piece of word in Hebrews chapter 11. But we do it for a purpose, though. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse number 13. We do it for a purpose. We do it for our people.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, and verse 13.
Bring it out.
These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off.
What we got to do?
Having seen them afar off.
You need to be a prisoner of the Lord. You got to, the promises that he told you, the reward that he said you're going to get if you serve him, you got to see that afar off. Man. And we always make the sports analogy that the damn championship that's coming in May and June, but you working in September and October, you see that ring on your finger, but it's not there yet. You see you holding this, that trophy up, but you don't physically have it. And that's what it means to serve the Most High. You gotta have vision. You see these promises and things afar off, you know?
And were persuaded of them.
Right.
And embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
And that's what it means. You gotta confess that this place not your rest, man. You are a stranger, a pilgrim on the earth, man. But with that I do.
Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, and start at verse 38. So like the brother is saying, all of that is a part of that cup of the Lord, man. All of that is a part of the carrying the yoke of Yahawashi. Alright, every brother in this room and sisters as well, when you came into this truth, you have drunk of the cup of the Lord. Whether you believed it or not, whether you didn't know or not. And in that cup is many different, like the brothers was bringing us a lot of stuff in that cup. Death, sorrow, alright, vexation of spirit, temptation of the flesh, suffering, fasting, praying, crying, tears, warring in your mind just to say, it's just you and Satan, you versus him, it's all in your head. Alright? All of that is in the cup, but you gotta drink it all up and you gotta endure it. You can't spit up. You got a lot of people, they drinking a cup, then when they get bitter, they kind of throwing it back up. Alright, spitting it out. And then you gotta drink the cup and then you gotta swallow it, man. Through the spirit. You bring that up in.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, and verse 38.
And all of our forefathers, they drunk at the cup of the Lord. So we have to use them as an example. You're not the only brother in this group that, going through what you're going through, man. It's men of ancient times that have drunk at the cup of the Lord and fulfilled their life. Like the prophet Daniel, like David did. So we have to look at these examples and like, if Ezekiel drunk at the cup of the Lord, I could do it as well. Alright, you can bring that up here.
And the next day, behold, a voice called me, saying, Esdras, Open thy mouth and drink.
It says what?
Open thy mouth and drink.
And that's the Lord. The Lord called you out of nowhere. Now you was in the world doing God knows what, playing football, gambling at the casino, all right, getting drunk on a Friday night, and the Lord just say Mattathias and called you out of nowhere, or Azariah, all right. And guess what? You gotta, whatever the Lord said, that voice, you gotta follow that voice. He said, drink. What does it mean by drink? A drink is understanding. All right, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High God. Read on.
Open thy mouth and drink, and I give thee to drink. Then open I my mouth.
What did Esdras do?
Open I my mouth.
And he said no.
Open I my mouth.
And a lot of people, they reject that cup, man. We were just at camp the other day. It was a lot of people just rejecting the cup. Yes, saying I believe in God, but I'm not doing that. A long time ago, it was a sister. She always was walking by camp, and she knew she was an Israelite, but she said the only reason why we're coming to this thing is because you can't really do everything. All right? Well, everything is a sin. It's like we can't do nothing. Well, guess what? You can't do everything, man. That's what the yoke of the Lord is. You being a servant to Yahawashi, you can't just do everything. You have to have discipline. It's commandments that you have to follow. If you don't follow these commandments, what people in the world don't know is consequences for every decision that you make. They don't understand that. Life and death is in literally every decision. They want to do as they want to do with no consequences behind it. So guess what? Hey, Esdras, he opened up his mouth. Read on.
And behold, he reached me a full cup.
It says what?
He
reached me a full cup.
No, just 1/4 of it.
He reached me a full cup.
Hey, that cup is going to be full, man. Real quick, to hold that king, let's go to Psalms chapter 23. All right, Psalms chapter 23, I believe that's the 7th. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 23 and verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord.
That over 5.
Verse 5. Thou preparest the table before me,
Right?
in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over.
My what?
My cup runneth over.
So guess what? The Lord might pour you up that cup. You gotta imagine this. He might pour you up that cup. It might get full. You can't say, hold on, Lord, that's too much in my cup. All right? It's too much I gotta deal with. Well, hey, the Lord seems best for you to go through that. It is what it is, man. Every brother has different things in their cup, but guess what? Every brother gonna get a full cup, man. All right? The Lord is not a respected person. Yeah, we're gonna give this brother a little bit, tiny, with a little tablespoon. All right? This brother get a tablespoon, and the rest of the men will get a full cup. No, it don't work like that, man. You get a teaspoon. You're getting a full cup out of the cup of the Lord. Now go back to that in 2nd Esdras.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14 and verse 39. Then opened I my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup, which was full, as it were, with water.
Right?
But the color of it was like fire.
Right? It was a strange looking cup, man. Read one.
And I took it and drank. And when I had drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding.
Right?
And wisdom grew in my breast. For my spirit strengthened my memory. And my mouth was open and shut no more. The highest gave understanding unto the 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the nights that were told, which they knew not. And they sat 40 days, and they wrote in the day, and at night they ate bread.
Right? So as you open that cup, understanding uttered in his mind. So with that cup, and Ezra, the Lord is going to give you understanding. That's a part of the cup. But Ezra also got a lot of suffering. Man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra real quick, 5 and 17, chapter 17. All right? There's going to be a lot of suffering, so you have to embrace that suffering just as well as the sweet things in the truth. The bitter and the sweet.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 17. Knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee in the land of their captivity?
Right?
Up then, and eat bread. Forsake us not as the shepherd that leaveth his flock in the hands of cruel wolves.
Right? Because this man, he's trying to get Ezra to come back down to the people because all hell is breaking loose. He's saying, come on, Ezra, eat bread, let's get down there. We got to set this thing in order. What did Ezra say? You
Then said I unto him, go thy ways from me.
He said, what?
Go thy ways from me.
And the more you reject that and keep following the Lord, the harder and harder and harder the temptation is going to be. Temptation is not going to be hard to a man that's just going off all the time. All right? He's just going out. That temptation will be a little easy. But for the man that's on fire, hey, you going to feel it's going to get to the point.
And went from
Right?
and so I fasted 7 days.
What does it do?
I fasted 7 days.
That's suffering, man. If you don't think that's suffering, I don't think it is. That's what he's saying right now after the new moon. Hey, let's go on a 7-day fast. Honestly, how many brothers would actually do that? Well, maybe one brother, all Christian on the side. But a lot of brothers, they go, man, I gotta work. I don't know about that. They might do it to see if they birthday. Oh, yeah, they say it's not wise. Yeah, that's not wise. So it's summertime,
Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 10. For whom are all things, and by whom are all things.
right?
And bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering.
It says what?
Perfect through suffering.
What happens if you drink of the cup?
Perfect through suffering.
You will be made perfect through the manifold sufferings that you partake in. The more sufferings you go through, the more you're going to be made perfect. The less sufferings you go through, the less you're going to be made perfect. So you want to keep that in mind as you're on this road to serving Yahawashi Yahawashi. Brother.
Come on, man. Brothers hit some mighty points real quick. I want to go to that back in Matthew chapter 16. Right. And I want you to start at verse 21. The brother brought it out earlier.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 21. From that time forth began Yahawashi to shew unto his disciples how that he must go unto.
He's basically telling the disciples what he's going to have to endure, what he's going to have to go through. He's basically telling them a part of the cup. Some of the things that's in this cup that he got to take up. Go ahead.
Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him.
Think about that. Peter started trying to get on the Lord. Like you talk about, when you don't have to die, you don't have to do this. He probably, we don't know what was being said. He probably was saying all that stuff like, you the Lord, you can just make it some other way. Have something else happen. You see what I'm saying? He ain't no telling what was being said. Jake crafty too. Jake will try to get a find a loophole out of anything. But
Saying, be it far from you, Lord. This shall not be unto thee.
Hey, you don't gotta go through this. This ain't gotta be. You don't have to die for the nation of Israel. You don't have to be persecuted by the Jews. You don't have to go and die and raise again. Right, go ahead.
But he turned and said to Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me.
Right, yeah, how I understood that spirit is hopping on. Right? That was the Lord's friend, one of his best friends. Right? Spirit might hop on one of your loved ones, one of your family members. The spirit can hop on anybody in this room, right? Brother tell you, yeah, you don't gotta, but let's just keep postponing the facts. Keep putting it off. I say we're gonna do it next week. Next week, I'm like, I got something going on, we're gonna do it next week. Right? Keep putting it off. It's then December. Right? You trying to start it in July. Right? Or however it was going on, right? We gotta understand you're gonna be tempted in this truth as well. That's part of the cut. I was tempted all the scriptures. Right? All throughout the scriptures he was being tempted. Right? He understood that's what has to happen. Right? And he understood, he had to find him to be able to understand that, hey, this is the spirit. That's Satan. Right? He would keep him sharp. You don't want to play around and kind of laugh at everything. Just laugh at a lot of folly. Somebody says all crazy stuff to you, you just right? Nah, we don't want to entertain none of those spirits at all. We got to repeat it just like how Yahawashi did. Right?
For thou favorest not the things that be of Yahawashi.
He said not the things that be of Yahawashi. You don't put those on the pedestal. Right? Then they say they do. It's talk like they do. Right? With their actions and their words. Or their actions Right? And in this truth, we can't savor the things that are good. Our mind gotta be kingdom driven. Our mind gotta be on the things. When we came into this thing, through the spirit and power of the Most High God, this truth, and coming to this truth at that point in time, it was never our will for that point. You can't do what you want to do. You never do what you want to do. Right? The ones that do what you want to do, they're the ones that come upon us. That's how it is in the truth. Go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 18. Even Jeremiah had to deal with it, man. He had to endure it. He had to drink it that quick. Jeremiah 18 and 18.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18 and verse 18. Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah.
Let's plot on Jeremiah. Right, let's plot on him. Right, let's lay snares and traps for him. Right? Let's see what happened. Hey, that happened to Yahawashi, man. The Pharisees, they was always plotting on the Lord. Whether that be his life, where they plotted on him, or where they trying to confound him. All types of different things. That's how it is in the truth. All right, go ahead.
For the law shall not perish.
You might just get his spirit, you kind of next thing you know, they start eating one by one. Now all of a sudden everybody feel like Jeremiah 20 and verse 2.
Look at Jeremiah 20 verse 2.
No.
Then Pashur smote Jeremiah the prophet.
Yeah, what?
Smote
Jeremiah the prophet.
Jeremiah, hey, he got popped. Right? He might have smacked him back. However they was doing it back. But he said smoke Jeremiah. How many brothers got punched before? The words of the Lord yet, man. Right? That's something that they might not come. Right? Get punched for the Lord. Get jumped for the Lord. Get smitten with the tongue. Right? For the Lord, man. Right?
and put him in stocks.
Right? Got punched and put in prison. Right? Jeremiah was in prison multiple times.
That word, the high gate of Benjamin, which was by the house of the Lord.
Right? I'm down to verse, same chapter, go to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Verse 7.
Verse 7. O Lord, thou hast deceived me.
What Jeremiah say?
Thou hast deceived me.
And sometimes we feel like, dang, like when you first came into this thing, you're like, dang, what in the world going on? Came into the truth, I'm happy. Everybody when you first come to the truth, you're excited. Everybody. You want to tell everybody about the truth. Everybody, you might have no person, you just breaking the scripture down. And you know we the Israelites. You know we did. Yeah. Right?
And I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed.
Will. Jeremiah couldn't do what he had to move forward with it, man. He literally couldn't do what he wanted. He literally got turned up out of it, man. He literally couldn't do what he wanted. He literally got turned up by the Lord, man. Even when he got to the point where he like, I know what like this, you deceived me. Imagine the Lord, imagine you telling the Lord that he deceived you. Right? Got me on the mission. Took me on a mission, man.
And I could not stay. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side, report saying they, and we will report it. Report say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watch for my halters.
See, that said, all my familiars watch for my halters, man. Right? Be the ones that you love, right, when you come into this truth, man. Right? And they'll be the ones that, hey, you kind of got to let go. All right? You got to serve the Lord. Christ even understood. Christ told the apostles that. Right? Go to that in the book of Matthew chapter 12. Right, real quick. Right, the last verse.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 48.
47, sorry.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, my mother and my... It's like it. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy desiring to speak with thee.
Right? Sometimes your parents, they might want you to celebrate Thanksgiving with them. Right? Christmas, they mad at you because you ain't get them nothing for Mother's Day. Pops call you, hey, you don't love you no more? Right? Your siblings, they pointing a finger at you saying you acting weird now. Are you picking them brothers with that don't groom themselves? Right? You picking them over your family with your blood. Right?
But he answered and said to him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward the disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
See that? The ones that's doing the will of the Heavenly Father, those are the true family, man. That's the true family. Those are the ones y'all all got the same goal at the end of the day. Everybody in this room got the same goal at the end of the day. That's to get the kingdom, man. This is being one, right? This is being one. We all got the same common goal at the end of the day. That's to get the kingdom, right? And we doing it on the same path. We all understand we gotta walk down that straight and narrow, man. Right? You can't waver to and fro. Right? You hop in this lane, you gotta stay in it. Right? Go to the book of Psalms chapter 64, verse 8.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse
63 it is, right?
God. The book of Psalms, chapter 63 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
My soul followeth hard after thee.
What is it?
My soul followeth hard after thee.
And that's the spirit that we gotta be in the last days. Of following hard after Yahawashi, man. Alright? Because doing that, you're gonna walk in the same footsteps. Right? You're gonna walk in the footsteps of Yahawashi, man. Right? You're gonna read these accounts like he said in the book of Romans chapter 15 and verse 4 on down, right? And learn these things. These are examples, right? These was written aforetime for our life, man. He said, learn of me. You understand? Right? Even if, like we brought out earlier, said, mark the perfect man. For his end shall be peace. And that's what we all want. And that's what we got to do in the last days. Follow him hard after the Lord, right? Go ahead and finish that.
Thy right hand uphold it.
Operances are the right hand of the Lord uphold everybody in this room, man. And all of y'all should all, man. Right?
Count. Mighty all praise. Get the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, start at verse 24. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain.
Now, I want to read this in the NLT. It says, don't you realize that everyone, it's like it says, don't you realize that in the race, everyone runs. Because in the race, everyone is sprinting their hardest. They train for this, they get their stretch on for 15 minutes prior, and they run their absolute hardest to get to that prize. It says, but only one person gets the prize. So everyone's running, but only one person gets the prize. Then it says, so run to win. That's what it says. We got to run to win. You have to run to win in this race. You can't have ass it. You have to run to win. You can't just get this truth just for lack of a better term, shits and giggles, man. We really in this thing to win, to get the prize. Keep reading.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Every man. How did you think Floyd Mayweather not that good? He just wake up good like that? Or does he wake up as a kid? He's training at 12 years old, all the way to the adult. He's punching that bag 10,000 times. How about Kobe? I went to a lake and I'm watching the warm-up. Kobe was just shooting like 33s in a row. He was hitting and shooting. He was making the ball too. He was shooting prior to the game. Just practicing, trying to win and be better. And that word temperate is just going to self-discipline. Everyone that's striving for that mastery is all self-discipline. You reading it?
Now, they do it to obtain the corruptible crown.
To obtain a they had to. That's for the corruptible crown. You read it?
But we an incorruptible.
It's the same thing, and it's true. We all running this race, so we all have to be temperate in all things. We have to strive for the mastery of yourself. Self-discipline, which is the hardest trait for a man to have. That's why it's only 1% of successful people in the world. Because self-discipline is the key trait they all have in common. They own a schedule. So how much more for the Lord? You own a schedule, you stick into it, and you discipline. Nobody gotta tell you, you just do it. You read it?
I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Right? He's just not fighting just to fight the air. He's actually trying to win something. You read it?
But I keep under my body and bring it into
And
subjection.
do what?
And
Bring it
into
You
subjection.
have to bring your body into subjection. You have to. You gotta create this schedule. You have to stick to it. Get up that extra hour early, brother, so you can read. Get yourself together. Like you reading?
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Because you don't want to be out there shaking your hand doing all this teaching. Now you a castaway. Because you're not disciplined. You're not temperate in all things. It says they're temperate, it says every man that strives for the master is temperate in all things. You have to be self-disciplined in all things. So brothers, set up a schedule and structure yourself and make sure in that schedule it's all about the Most High. So you got to get up an hour early, whatever you got to do to get it in with the Lord, man. In all realms of life. Get your health and everything together, because that matters. You wondering why you feeling all down and out and you can barely read and you all tired. Well, brother, all you eat is chips, brother. Get your diet, get your life right. It helps with your memory and everything. So drink more water, get up early, read, do all that stuff, brother.
Go to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and start at verse number 3. Because when we came into this truth, you enlisted in the Most High army. You signed up to be a soldier. That's why you gotta have the self-discipline. And, you gotta submit because you signed up to be a soldier in the Most High army. And any soldier in any army, you don't do what you want to do. You can't go AWOL. You go to A, say go left, you go right, and then don't step on a line. You have to be disciplined, and you gotta be a soldier. So we root you up.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness. No man that warreth entangleth himself of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
The Lord chose you to be a soldier in his army, man. So you can please him. You can't be entangled with the stuff of this life, man. You over there fighting in Vietnam, but you thinking about, cheesecake. I want to go to cheesecake. I wish I could go to cheesecake factory after that. Hey, Doug! And then you only got hit, man. You can't be like that in this truth. Yeah, it's evil, man. What was you thinking about back then? I don't know. My mind got wrapped up. Think about having cheesecakes, man. So in this truth, your mind got to be locked in on the scriptures, man. You got to be locked in because you won't lose this war. You always will say, these demons aren't here to be your friend. These demons aren't here to play with you. They're here to kill you, man. And if you let these demons get close enough, they're going to do their job at the highest level and bring that report back to the Most High. And the Most High going to say, well done. Right? Because you let those demons overcome you. Now, as a soldier, what do soldiers do? Go to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 57. Well, you just have the title of a soldier and you just kind of go about your day. No, if you're a soldier, you're expected to do something through the Spirit.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 57.
Bring it out.
Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Shall do what?
Shall
What
fight.
do soldiers do?
Shall fight.
You're gonna fight. You're gonna be thrown in that war, right? You better have your sword ready too. Or you ain't been studying one too bad, then the demons gonna eat you up, man. The Lord gave you equipment, He gave you everything. So here's the conditions of the battle. This is what's gonna be. Sirach 2:1, if you come to serve me, prepare your soul for temptation. The Lord gave you everything you needed to fight. You know?
That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said.
Right? So if you're only gonna fight for wickedness, you're gonna fight against wickedness. Right? If you be overcome, you serve Satan, you're gonna suffer. It is what it is, you know?
But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I
And
say.
you're going to receive the thing the Lord says. If you get the victory, that's a big if. Right? But it's all predicated on you doing what you need to do as a good soldier for Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Love you.
Let's go to the book of John, chapter 16, and verse number 33. All right, John, chapter 16 and 33.
This is the book of John, chapter 16 and verse 33. These things I have spoken unto you,
Right?
that in me ye might have peace.
It says what?
That in me
Ye might have peace.
Right, and Yahawashi, read one.
In the world ye shall have
What the
tribulation.
Lord say?
In the world ye shall have
So
tribulation.
it's all going to be sweet.
In the world ye shall have tribulation.
Read one.
But be of good cheer.
But what?
But be of good cheer.
Be sad.
Be of good cheer.
Read one.
I have overcome the world.
See, that's what Yahawashi told you. Guess what? The things that you're going through, I've already did and accomplished it. Follow after the blueprint. Follow after the code. And you're going to overcome the world just like I overcame the world. The Lord gave you the blueprint. But you're going to find out a lot of people, they want to do their own way. I want to overcome the world how I want to overcome the world. It don't work like that, man. You have to do the same things that Yahawashi did. If not, I mean, you saying that you better than Yahawashi. You got a different route. All right? That's what Jake wanted. Jake just like to be different. Now, I got my own style to it, my own sauce. No, you have to follow the blueprint that the Most High gave to his son, Yahawashi. Because that blueprint is perfect. Everything outside of Yahawashi is imperfect now. So Yahawashi said, be of good cheer, I have overcame the world. I have drink of that cup. I have took on that yoke. I have bared it. And every brother and sister in here, you have that same ability to overcome through Yahawashi. I got one more precept. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 5 and 8. Hebrews chapter 5 and 8. Start at verse 7.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications,
Right?
with strong crying,
With what?
with
Strong
strong
crying.
crying,
What's the truth about?
With strong crying.
Read one.
and tears
And what?
And tears.
Read one.
unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard, and that he feared. He were a son, yet learned he obedience by the
Tears, prayers, supplications. Yet he still learns him being the Son of Man. But he learned obedience through suffering. We all are the children of the Most High. The only way we're going to learn obedience is through suffering. Is through the